Let's talk about vocal dynamics. Let's talk about being able to speak with multiple layers, different intonation, rising and falling inflections. And rather than going through the structure of those things, which is incredibly analytical and doesn't really help you to perform better, what I thought we'd do is actually go through what I believe is one of the most rewarding and beneficial exercises that you can do in order to change your speech, to make it more dynamic, to make it more engaging, and to have more going on, you know? So what I'm going to ask you to do, not right now, right now you can listen to me and then you can go and do this afterwards, is to go and find yourself a series of children's books. Children's playbooks are just amazing. They are written to be read. They are written to be spoken with character. They're written in such a way that they're simple, and they usually have different characters in them, and they give you an opportunity to play with words. And this is what we want. What we want to do is give in or let go of our ego telling us we have to sound professional, formal and straight, and we just want to go for it. The idea is, if you can take some children's books, you can find them online or buy them in the shop, secondhand shops. Anyway, you can get these everywhere. What we're going to do is just, when no one's looking, or if you've got kids, even better, you can practice with them, read. That's it. You're going to practice reading children's books in order to help your vocal dynamics. And again, like I said, it's because they are written in such a way that you can be playful. What happens is, when you go through these and you learn to become more versatile through play and through adopting different ways of speaking that you might not normally. Maybe you can do accents that you've never done before, and they don't have to be accurate. It's just you giving it a go. Perhaps you're being a male or a female voice. Perhaps you're an old or a younger voice. You don't have to judge yourself with this, because no one's supposed to get these correct. It's just for fun. So if you can have fun with it, this is, in my opinion, one of the best ways that you can just give in and start exploring your vocal dynamics more. Right, so I'm going to read you the dinosaur that pooped a pirate now, and I've read this a few times to my kids, and I change it every time because I love doing this. So here we go, the dinosaur that pooped a pirate. Danny and Dinosaur sailed out to sea on a ship that was crooked and old, with a map in Dan's hand of a faraway land where a pirate had hidden his gold. They sailed all day with nothing for lunch, not even a sniff of a snack. They searched high and low, but found nothing, and so they were going to have to turn back. See, it doesn't even have to make sense. You can just use it as a way to play, go up there somewhere and come down here and go. That's the idea. It's playful. You're just playing. This is not to be taken too seriously. It's just an exercise. But just when it looked like they'd have to go home, Danny held up a scope to his eye, and on the horizon he spotted Skull Island. And so, land ahoy, Danny cried. Yo-ho, land ahoy, Danny cried. Danny hoisted the sail, Dino steered with his tail, and they anchored their ship by the shore. This is it, Danny cheered, the treasure is near, and they jumped off the ship to explore. But while Danny studied the map to the goal, Dinosaur's tummy was rumbling. There's no time for that, we must follow the map. Tell that belly of yours to stop mumbling. Mumbling, grumbling. They followed the map through the wet, sloppy mud to a place known as Crocodile Cave. Let's go in, Danny cried. There's treasure to find. We're going to have to be brave. Yo-ho, we're going to have to be brave. Danny crept past the crocs with their razor-sharp teeth that were open and ready to crunch. In his nose in the map, Danny didn't look back to see Dinosaur eat them for lunch. Next on the map was a mermaid lagoon. Mermaids magically tempted them in. Danny put on his trunks and he felt like a hunk, saying, Dinosaur, come for a swim. Yo-ho, you have to come in for a swim. But Dinosaur knew Dan was under a spell, for this place was too good to be true. So before Dan could say that he wanted to stay, Dinosaur drank the lagoon. Oh! Next on the map was a grand pirate ship that was stranded in Barnacle Bay, and the pirates on board were incredibly bored. And the pirates on board were incredibly bored until Danny heard one of them say, Yo-ho, there are trespassers coming this way. They loaded their cannons and readied the plank. These swashbuckling pirates were angry, but horn-swoggling crooks with no teeth and sharp hooks are no match for a dino that's hangry. Danny studied the map and they followed the trail, crossed a bridge made of skeleton bones, charmed the venomous snake, swam with sharks in the lake, took a selfie with old Davy Jones, leapt a pit full of spikes, cartwheeled over some crabs, flew with parrots down Buccaneer Falls, but with eyes on the prize, Dan did not realise that his dino first mate ate them all. Yo-ho, his dino first mate ate them all. Now, reader, beware. Our sailors have reached the most treacherous part of this tale. For the X on the map, where the treasure was at, was inside the mouth of a whale. I'm not scared, Dan declared as he ventured inside, and where Danny went, Dinosaur followed. But the map was a trap and the whale went snap, and both Danny and Dino were swallowed. Oh no, both Danny and Dino swallowed. There was treasure all right, jewels and diamonds galore. They were sparkling as bright as can be. But there's no use for gold if you're stuck growing old. growing old in a whale at the bed of the sea. Yo-ho, so Dino had treasure for tea. It was sticky and icky and smelled very fishy. And so Danny started to cry. Their only way out was through the whale's spout, and they couldn't reach. It was too high. But with pirates and mermaids inside of its gut, the dinosaur knew what to do. After such a big feast to escape from the beast, the dinosaur needed to shit himself everywhere. What? Poo! Now, this is my favourite part of the whole book. They blew out the spout 20 leagues in the sky and escaped from the whale in a flash. The poo-powered pair plastered poop everywhere as the dinosaur's bum made a splash. That's a great tongue twister right there. The plosives. He dropped off the parrots at Buccaneer Falls and plopped the crocs back in their cave. The mermaids were pooed into Mermaid Lagoon. Danny blew them a kiss as they waved. Yo-ho, we blew them a kiss and they waved. Skeleton Bones and old Davy Jones came tumbling out of his bottom. The lake that he drank was now brown and it stank like a nappy that had been forgotten. Ooh. He pooed piles of pirates in Barnacle Bay, then squeezed out their ship for good measure. They were brown head to toe and a little cross, so the dinosaur pooped out the treasure. Hooray, the dinosaur pooped out the treasure. They crashed on the beach where this journey began. The hunt for the treasure had beat them. Let's go home, Danny cried, just relieved they'd survived, and the two of them hadn't been eaten. Dino hoisted his tail and his wind filled the sails, and they headed toward the horizon. They stood on the deck and would never forget the adventure they had on Skull Island. Yo-ho, then Dinosaur pooped out a diamond. Boop! That's it. You want to sound more dynamic? You want more flexibility in the way you speak in everyday life? Take a kid's book, read it every day. Get more crazy with it. Get more playful with it. Be curious. Don't judge yourself. Don't stop yourself from just doing it, right? I've not had a warm-up today. I've not had an articulation warm-up, but I just wanted to share that with you because I think it's a really good idea for those people who are focused on better intonation or are kind of sounding boring. You don't have to. You can just be playful. And it's often down to self-confidence and feeling that others might judge you, that we stop ourselves. So do it on your own. Do it when no one's looking. Record yourself like I am now. Look back at it. Make the judgments later, but go for it. That's it. You will sound more dynamic. There's tools on this channel that will give you exercises to work some of those muscles that will be used in creating vocal dynamics. But ultimately, you've just got to be playful and go for it. Holding yourself back is what's stopping you, not your actual vocal instrument, because everybody has the capacity to be more dynamic if they wish. And speaking of the capacity for vocal dynamics and exercises and tools that you can use to do that, not only are my online courses available, of course, this video here is pretty damn good. Bye.
Got a feeling there's no longer any room for two. And I believe it wouldn't hurt to have the extra room.